So recently I made a under 28 cost tier list, and a lot of comments were, I say a lot, but it's just people that are new to the game. I feel like they need something to guide them a little bit on this, but why is the new unit that just came out this week, Sai, a bad unit? He's right here, and in this video, I will explain what makes a unit bad. I could also go on what makes a unit good, but pretty much, kind of, if a unit doesn't check the what makes it bad list, they're probably going to be good. But why Sai, the unit just came out bad? This will be more broad, it's more about what makes a unit bad than just Sai in specific, but for the most part, I'll be using Sai as an example. Now, Sai is a unit that came out this week, so we gotta compare him to units that have come out recently, right? Because it's only fair, a new unit should be compared to new units. If we were to compare him to like a unit from 3 years ago, of course he's not that bad. And it's a thing that a lot of people seem to do. They seem to compare a new unit to like previous units from like 2-3 years ago. Now Sai, why is he bad? First of all, for a unit to be good, they need to be useful. They need to be a useful unit for the person who pulled them, especially against summonable units. For the most part, free-to-play units, they have a problem because since they are free, the developers don't make them too good. A lot of units that are free are good, but they're not too amazing, right? But summonable units, they are premium units. You pull them in a multi, and you need to feel good about pulling them. If you don't feel good about pulling them, you're gonna be dissatisfied. And Sai is a unit that if you pull, you're gonna be dissatisfied compared to other units because he is occupying space in the pool that shares good units. Now, let me go over why he's bad. He has terrible stats for when he came out. Again, you gotta compare to units that had just come out recently, and I'll be bringing up a few. Field and Body skill are very outdated. Ninjutsu are the worst thing about him, because he's double single target, right? And again, a lot of units that are single target are not bad. Like if you take a look at KCM Naruto, Blazing when they came out a few months ago, he is double single target, and I still say he's one of the best units in the game, but he has usability. Sai is a slip damager. That's all that he does. And there's so many units in the game that do that. If the unit is not unique, they're gonna be flagged as a unit that is just basic and is not good. I have so many units in my box that already do slip damage. Why do I want Sai? Well, now, let me bring up right here. I have here in the PC a very old unit, Sasori, which is, again, very old, and a lot of people already have him. If you already have Sasori, why would you want Sai? Again, Sai is in a lot of ways better than Sasori, right? But at the same time, this guy is new, and a lot of people are not gonna have him. Right now, I'm pretty sure you should not have him, because the only way of getting him is summoning on his banner. So, Sasori, because he's old, a lot of people that have been playing for a while are gonna have him max duped. It's just how it is, because we do so many summons, even if you're free to play, you probably pulled him a few times. Maybe just have like the first 2 dupes, let's say. Sasori has 80% of slip damage, AoE. Why would I want to use Sai, which does the same thing, but is single target? There's no reason. This unit that came out in November of 2016 is better than Sai. How is that even possible? 2016, it's 3 years ago. Almost 3 years ago, because we are entering September, and it was in November that he came out. Basically 3 years ago, a unit released that is better than Sai, in the same element. Why would I use, again, Sai over Sasori? And that's a big problem. If we go back to Sai right here, I'm sorry, he also has very outdated abilities. Abilities evolve through time. If you take a look at recent units, like Rock Lee, they have a synergetic ability, like scheme, right? The most recent normal banners that are good have synergetic abilities, right? Like Rock Lee. Rock Lee you see his abilities, he boosts chance of critical hitting to the point where if you put a buddy critical hit on him, he's gonna be always critical hitting. And as you can see, I'm comparing him to normal banner units because that's what he is. That's why we should compare him to. He basically always critical hit, and that makes him a unique unit. The only unit that does that besides him is the Heart Rock Lee Blazing Bash, and that's like very specific because it's a Blazing Bash unit. Not any normal banner units like Sasori has. Sai has Sasori, I'm sorry. Rock Lee is the only normal banner unit that does that, as far as I'm concerned. And not only he does that, but he has a unique thing of boosting his damage reduction to 100%, which again, if I'm not mistaken, no other normal banner units could do at that point. So, I mean, I'm talking about stacking, right? Maybe you could do like an ultimate and get 10% damage reduction for 1/3 or whatever. I'm talking about stacking. That makes him a unique unit that if you pull, you'll be very satisfied. Sai doesn't do anything unique and nothing very usable. I mean, he's usable, not useful. I'm sorry, I used the wrong term. Now let's take a look at Shikamaru. Came out with Rock Lee. He's not PvE unit, right? So if you pull him and you just mainly play PvE, maybe you'll not be satisfied, but he is very unique for PvP and he's very, very good on PvP. So he is a unique unit that is going to be very useful for the person using it, right? Sasori has a 90% chance mobilization, so that alone is very good. But if you look at his abilities, it's also something that helps the user, right? Lower chance of being mobilized by 90%, and if you sync with long range, it's 25. So he has a 100% chance to nullify mobilization, plus he can reset. So you can see that his abilities really enhance the experience of using the unit. Again, look at Sai, 15%. 15! That's, if you're going up against like a boss that has 100%, you're just reducing it to 85%. That's, and this, okay. These two abilities maybe enhance the experience of using Sai because you're increasing to from 7 turns to 8 turns right here. But let's face it, that's not good. And 50% is so low. Again, Shikamaru just released with a 70% and boosting to 90. And again, Sasori, 80% with abilities, 90% with abilities, or 60 without abilities. That's what makes Sai bad. He's worse than the old unit. And again, I'm comparing him like now to Nagato. Nagato is also a bad unit. Why he's bad? Outdated abilities. 10% skill damage reduction? What is this? Did he come out 5 years ago? And then you have like 7 times towards one body, or 6 if they're not body. Not anything useful in here, it's just damage. Which is just like Sai. 15 if they're heart, or 13 if they're not heart. Again, that's just damage, nothing useful. That's what makes him bad. He's a bad unit. Outdated field skill, outdated body skill. It's just, again, that's what makes a unit bad. The last unit I actually want to compare is Hidan. Oh, I don't have Sasori, I'm sorry. I wanted to bring up Sasori, maybe I closed him by accident. First Sasori, then Hidan. Sasori is a useful unit. That's legitimately the most useful normal banner ever. I'm talking ever. Because he's a type switcher. Type switchers are so common nowadays. Like, we just got Kushina, we got Sasori, we got, what was the other one? We got freaking Omoi. Type switches, we got the new Temari, that's what I was thinking. The new Temari, which is free to play as well, a type switcher. Sasori could have been totally a type switcher. And I think that's what they meant. Because Sasori, in any way, it's better than Sai. Like, he switches the element, he does basically the same amount of damage because he has better stats. And also he has a 70% chance slip damage. 50! How is that even possible? He requires less chakra, and he changes the element, which is the biggest thing. He changes the element to bravery, which makes you control the element of the enemy you're going up against. Now, if you maybe have a lot of wisdom nukers, you might want to have Sasori to change their element and doing good damage. And also, with the abilities, Sasori does more damage on his normal jutsu than Sai. A unit that is supposed to be a nuker because of his high multiplier. How is that possible? Again, how is that possible? It's just baffling. Now, from now on, people are gonna be pulling this Sai from normal banners, and people are gonna be dissatisfied. One thing that Dokkan has been doing very good, if you play Dokkan, is normal banner units are very good. Normal banner units are units that when you pull them, nowadays, the new ones that have been coming out since I think the 3rd anniversary for Dokkan, when you pull them, you're like, oh, that's a good pull, because they're actually good. If I pull Sai, you're gonna be yikes. Hidan, another unit that came out ages ago, March of 2017. You look at Hidan, what does he have as abilities? Healing. That's not insane, a lot of units have healing, but this alone makes him a unit that you might want to have in your team just for a backup of healing. 500 healing, that's pretty good. You don't want Sai as a backup, and that's what makes him bad. Hopefully I answered this question because I've been getting a lot of comments about it, especially again on tier lists because I make so many of them. People just get confused because maybe they're new, they don't have much experience on the game. If you see a unit that has practically no usability, they have nothing that stands out for them compared to other units, they are bad. Most units that come out, they have something that's like, oh, this is a thing that this unit does, right? If I think of Hidan, I think of a unit that takes 20% of their health. That's what he does, and that's unique. Sai has nothing of unique. If a unit has nothing of unique, they are bad. That's the takeaway. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I helped some new players because, again, new players are the people I try to help the most, honestly, because I know being a new player, you just don't know what's going on. Especially being new in gachas, you may pull a unit and think, oh, every unit I pull is good, which is not the thing. Especially when a new banner comes out, like a new normal banner comes out. I know a lot of players are summoning on it thinking, oh, the new unit released, they must be good. If a unit is not a Blazing Festival or a Blazing Bash, I don't recommend summoning. And a lot of people point out Rock Lee and Shikamaru, they are special cases, okay? That banner was worth summoning on. But usually normal banners are not worth summoning on for the same reason why Sai is bad. Not worth it. It's not useful for you. As a free-to-play player, pulling Sai is way worse than pulling a Blazing Festival like Peng. Thank you guys for watching, hope I helped some people out.